They don't have anything to do with how the Social Security office divvies out death benefits. You understand, they are not in charge of that.
He was never at home. He'll come home when it's time for me to go to work. So
Why would I come home to a woman that's cheating on me?
How you gonna sleep in the bed and you too much in the streets?
Because I didn't want to look in your face.
You're there
Well,
for the birth.
honestly, to be honest, I felt a little pressured.
He wasn't pressured. No one told him to come.
I felt pressured overall. I felt pressured.
How did you feel pressure? Who was putting pressure on you?
We're back in Judge Lake's courtroom, and today we've got Miss Adams and Mr. Williams going head-to-head over their 3-year-old son, John.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Adams versus Williams.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Adams, you say you're here today regarding a matter of extreme urgency. Now, your son, Mr. Adams, is joining us via satellite from Flint, Michigan, because he's been prohibited by law enforcement from leaving your home state.
Miss Adams claims that her son is facing jail time for unpaid child support, and she's determined to prove that Mr. Williams is not the father. On the other hand, Mr. Williams insists that he's not the daddy and that Miss Adams has been playing games with him. Oh boy, things are heating up already.
You claim he's on the verge of being arrested for back child support, and you're both with us today to prove he's not the father of the defendant's 3-year-old son in an effort to keep him out of jail.
Yes, Your
Now,
Honor.
Ms. Williams, you say Mr. Adams is indeed your baby's biological father, and you argue his legal issues are his own fault because he never stepped up for his son.
So, Miss Adams spills the tea and reveals that she and Mr. Williams were never in a committed relationship. It was more like a Netflix and chill situation. Oh, honey, we've all been there. But things took a turn when Miss Adams found out she was pregnant and thought it was her ex's baby. Plot twist.
Both of you have doubts it's even his child.
True, Your Honor.
Mr. Adams?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you.
All right, so enlighten me on this situation. You were in a relationship with Ms. Williams.
No, I really wouldn't call it no relationship. You know, I met her at a house party. She tried to have sex with me on the first date, so that was a judge of character right there.
But you weren't in a committed relationship.
But wait, there's more! Miss Adams eventually found out that her ex wasn't the father, so she turned to Mr. Williams as a potential baby daddy. Can you imagine the shock on his face? Poor guy didn't see that one coming.
So take me back. I need to understand these details. You tell him you're pregnant.
Yes.
What happens?
Me and my ex was still trying to make things work, and we were still messing around. You know, me and my ex both thought like, oh, you're the father or whatever. So we just went through that whole year. I was pregnant. I didn't mention him about the baby until I found out it wasn't my ex.
Now, here's where it gets messy. Miss Adams claims she asked Mr. Williams to take a DNA test not once, but twice. But he was too hungover to show up. Seriously, dude, you're facing child support and you can't skip the party for a paternity test? Talk about bad choices.
Only due to the fact that I was incarcerated, so I didn't receive any court subpoenas, anything, Your Honor. I was incarcerated.
So you didn't show up that day and you were deemed the father by default. Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Tell me how you heard about all of this.
My daughter was kind of close to her. They worked together, and I overheard a conversation on the phone.
Fast forward to the court hearing, and Mr. Williams finds out he's been declared the father by default. Oh, the drama. He even spent time in jail for unpaid child support. But hey, maybe he needed some time to sober up and reflect on his life choices, right?
When she said it,
I wouldn't have never came to your son. A possibility is a possibility. I never said no, and I never said he was the father.
You said no. Another situation, we was in a department store, and I seen her. She was with a guy. She was around 9 months pregnant, and I asked her to sit down and talk to me for a minute. She said, I'm positive that that's not your son's child.
Did you tell her that, Miss Williams?
Now, let's meet the star of the show, Little John. Miss Williams claims he may have a slight resemblance to Mr. Adams, but it's not enough to convince anyone. Looks like we're gonna need a DNA test to settle this once and for all.
Messing with my ex, that's what the agreement was between me and my ex at the time.
So you said it's not his.
Yes.
But you understand why this could then make her doubtful.
Yes, I do.
And she letting everybody babysit while she go to the strip club ain't doing her no good. Because I babysitted the child,
First off,
and she didn't come get me for 2 days.
Listen, really?
Really?
All right, folks, we've reached the moment of truth. The results are in, and wait for it. We're gonna have to wait a little longer. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Will Mr. Williams be off the hook for child support? Will Miss Adams finally find out who her son's real father is? Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion.
First off, when I was dancing, the only person that ever watched my kid when I was dancing was my mom, most of the
You're
time.
You're lying, because you said your mother didn't like you and wouldn't watch the child.
I was staying with my mom at the time.
Welcome back, drama lovers. We're back with the nail-biting conclusion of paternity court cases that uncovered the truth. Are you ready to find out if Mr. Williams is the father or not? I know I am.
And you trying to better yourself?
I'm trying to better myself.
And get your life together for your child?
Yes, I am.
That's what I want to hear. And Mr. Adams, was it your understanding that you may be the father or that you were the father?
Well, Your Honor, after she had her ex-boyfriend tested, she basically was trying to come at me like I was the father.
The tension in the courtroom is palpable as Judge Lake prepares to reveal the DNA test results. Will Miss Adams get the closure she's been seeking? Will Mr. Williams finally be free from the burden of child support? Let's find out.
Right, but Mr. Adams, you hear her testimony. She says she told you it wasn't yours because even though it was a possibility, she and her boyfriend had decided they were going to work it out between the two of them, but then she had the boyfriend tested and the baby wasn't his. So do you understand why she then came to you, or you feel like there's other people in the picture as well?
Well, actually, Your Honor, I do feel like it was other people as well.
What evidence do you have to suggest that?
Drum roll, please. The results are, oh wait, we have a twist. Miss Adams and Mr. Williams are both on edge, but the suspense is killing us. Will it be a happy ending or a shocking revelation? I can't even handle it.
No, my son was in jail. My son was in jail.
No, this was before he had got locked up. I asked him twice.
He was in jail.
Why didn't you take the test,
I had the
Adams?
papers sent to jail to have the DNA testing.
The one time that I couldn't go, I was hungover. I'm not gonna lie, you know. It wasn't being lazy or nothing. I really was hungover. But all the other times that we scheduled dates.
Oh, the anticipation is killing me. Judge Lake is about to drop the bombshell. Will it be good news or bad news for Miss Adams and Mr. Williams? Get ready, folks, because the truth is about to be revealed.
Mr. Adams is not the father.
Take me off child support, baby.
Mr. Adams, you done come to the wrong courtroom clowning. This is not a joke. It's nothing to dance about. It's nothing to laugh about. Your future was on the line.
All right, let's jump right into it. In today's case, we have Mr. Redmond Jr. versus Ms. Patterson. This case is all about two teenage daughters, LaQuandria and Kashia, who Mr. Redmond claims are not his own. Oh boy, this is going to be a roller coaster ride.
Really start denying.
Her and her friend was in the bathroom, and he had his pants down.
Why is you sitting here lying? I have to get a second job just to help my mom in the house. You don't do anything.
He ain't nothing.
So, Mr. Redmond has been in and out of jail for owing over $10,000 in child support. Yikes. And he is adamant that these kids are not his. But Ms. Patterson, on the other hand, is 100% certain that Mr. Redmond is the father. The tension is already sky high, folks.
Quandria Redmond and Kaisha Redmond, who you say are not yours. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Patterson, you say you are 100% certain that both girls are his daughters, and you cannot wait to prove the truth today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Redmond, why is it taking you so long to get this issue resolved?
Your Honor, over 19 years, I've been taking care of these kids, and Your Honor, I've been going to jail.
But wait, it gets even crazier. Mr. Redmond starts off by presenting some evidence to the court. He claims he caught Ms. Patterson cheating on him multiple times. Oh, the drama. Let's take a look at the evidence on the monitor.
I placed a secret tape recorder in the air vent at my apartment after I caught her, the dark-skinned fellow coming out of my apartment. The trust was gone. So I put the tape recorder inside the air vent.
So that's your tape recorder. You put it in the air vent.
Yes, ma'am.
So you could record what was going on in your house?
In the bedroom. Yes, sure. I heard moaning and groaning. I heard a man's voice in my room, in my bedroom.
Oh my goodness. According to Mr. Redmond, he caught Ms. Patterson and her friend in the bathroom with their pants down. But hold on, Ms. Patterson denies these accusations. She says it's all a lie. The tension in the courtroom is palpable, folks.
I went to Ms. Patterson's workplace. But at this point in time, at her job, the front people told me where she was at, how to find her location. I went back there to find the location that they told me to go to.
Okay.
I observed Ms. Patterson in the bed with another man.
Oh,
on top of the man.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, so this is you observing?
Yes, ma'am.
And it doesn't stop there. Mr. Redmond also claims he caught Ms. Patterson with another man in their apartment. Talk about a scandal. Let's take a look at the picture he submitted as evidence.
That was against the rules. I would have lost my job. Your Honor, I don't know what he's talking about.
So, Mr. Redmond, you really believe she cheated? All of these instances add up to you in your mind that she cheated?
Yes, Your Honor. I have one more incident, if you mind me telling you. Yes,
Okay, you can step back to the podium now. I'll hear it from over there.
Whoa! This picture allegedly shows Ms. Patterson coming home from work to find a tall, dark-skinned man leaving their apartment. Mr. Redmond reveals that he secretly recorded their bedroom using a tape recorder hidden in the air vent. Oh, the suspense is killing me. Let's hear what he discovered.
You thought maybe he could be her father because she was having a relationship with him as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you sitting on another man's lap, Miss Patterson?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Why do you think he is just making all of this up?
Your Honor, I don't know. To tell you the truth, this is what I used to go through when we was married. So this is basically why the marriage had ended.
Oh my goodness, folks. Mr. Redmond claims he heard moaning and groaning, and even a man's voice in the recording. This is like a scene straight out of a dramatic movie.
Caught her cheating on me. Her and her friend was in the bathroom, and he had his pants down.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
All right, so let's get to the second pregnancy because you all managed to stay married long enough to get pregnant again.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why do you feel Kaisha is not your child? That's what I want to
Because, Your
understand.
Honor.
All right, let's take a breather here. Things are getting heated in this courtroom. The tension between Mr. Redmond and Ms. Patterson is off the charts. But what about the children? Let's bring in LaQuandria and Keishia to hear their side of the story.
That's why you feel like you're not
Yes,
Kaisha's
ma'am.
biological
That's not
father.
true, Your Honor. That's not. The reason why he ain't sleeping in the bed, he was never at home. He'll come home when it's time for me to go to work. So
Why
how
would
you
I come home to a woman that's cheating on me?
sleep? How you gonna sleep in the bed and you too much in the streets?
Because I didn't want to look in your face.
You wouldn't work. You wouldn't keep a
I
job.
would work if you knew how to
And
take
you
care of
want-
your own
and
kids.
you want me to
You
be
had
with
small
you?
kids, Your Honor.
LaQuandria and Keishia enter the courtroom, and boy, they are not happy. They both believe that Mr. Redmond is their father, but they also feel abandoned by him. The emotions are running high, folks.
When I left him in 2000.
Were you also there for the entire birth while you had this doubt? Were you there for all of the appointments, the birth, everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so at that time, Ms. Patterson, did you believe he doubts my children, or were you thinking that you all were just a married couple having children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which one?
That we was married and had kids.
Do you remember him expressing doubt over?
LaQuandria courageously speaks up, expressing her hurt and disappointment in Mr. Redmond. She recounts how he was never there for them, even when they were homeless. The tears are flowing, and hearts are breaking.
Kept them away from me
That is
so that I would not be
true,
able
Your
to
Honor.
have a relationship with these kids.
Why is you
What-
sitting here lying? I have to get a second job just to help my mom in the house. You don't do anything.
Where are you? Where were you? You didn't even look her way. When it comes to Kaisha Redmond, it has been determined by this court.
And I don't care.
And Keishia shares her pain too. She recalls how she called Mr. Redmond for help and he never came through. These girls have been through so much, and it's clear that they yearn for a father figure in their lives.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Please state your name for the court. You first.
Kaisha Redmond.
Kaisha. And your name?
LaQuandria Redmond.
All right. So we are here today discussing some paternity issues that are affecting your family, okay? And I wanted to hear from you because the gentleman on the plaintiff's podium, Mr. Redmond, you believe he is your father, right?
I mean, yes.
That's what you've been told.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, folks, it's time for the moment of truth. The DNA results are in, and they are about to be revealed. Let's find out.
Mr. Redmond, you are the father.
We both look alike.
Mr. Redmond, you are the father.
Apologize to
he
his
don't-
kids.
he don't need
no,
him.
he needs to
He don't
apologize.
need
No,
him.
seriously,
He
he
never
needs to
did.
apologize.
I do apologize. I try to have a relationship with them, Your Honor, but they won't stay around. They say I'm too mean, I'm too strict, I'm too this, I'm too that.
Kaisha, is there something you'd like to say to your father?
All right, let's set the stage for today's drama-filled episode. We have Ms. McCrory, who claims that her late ex-husband, Mr. Gino Bailey, is the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Navoy. She's here to fight for her share of the Social Security death benefits. But hold on, because Ms. Smith, the ex-wife of Mr. Bailey, and her daughter Sierra are saying it's medically impossible for him to be the father. They're convinced that Ms. McCrory is just in it for the money. Let the drama unfold.
Ms. McCrory, you and your husband claim the defendant's ex-husband, Mr. Gino Bailey, who recently passed away, fathered your 3-year-old daughter, Nevaeh. You say you will return to court to fight for your share of Social Security death benefits after...
Oh boy, the accusations are flying left and right in this courtroom. Ms. Smith is not holding back, claiming that Ms. McCrory is only after the money. But wait, Ms. McCrory fires back, saying that if Mr. Bailey is the father, he should support his child, even in death. Oh, the drama is heating up, folks.
Today's test proves he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, you and your daughter say it would be medically impossible for your ex-husband to be the child's biological father and state the McCrorys are in this only for the money. Ms. Smith, how can you be so sure that your ex-husband isn't the father of Miss McCrory's baby?
Now, things take an unexpected turn when Ms. Smith drops a bombshell. She reveals that Mr. Bailey had a medical condition related to the XY chromosome that could result in miscarriages if he fathered a child. Oh, the suspense. But Ms. McCrory is not buying it, claiming that miracles do happen, and her daughter is proof of that. The tension is building, and we can't wait to see how this medical mystery unfolds.
Ms. Smith nor Ms. Minto, they don't have anything to do with how the Social Security office divvies out death benefits. You understand they are not in charge of that.
Yes, I do.
If she believed that my late ex-husband was the father of her child, why didn't she get a DNA test?
The courtroom is getting intense as both sides present their testimonies. Ms. Minto, Mr. Bailey's daughter, is adamant that Nevaeh cannot be her sister, and she won't have anything to do with it. She believes her father when he said it wasn't possible. But hold on, folks, because Ms. McCrory and her husband, Mr. McCrory, have some photos to prove their case. They claim Nevaeh bears a striking resemblance to Mr. Bailey. Oh, the suspense is killing us.
I believe that all
Ms.
she
Minto?
wants is the money.
I see this is upsetting.
Okay.
It's hard to hear people talk about your dad and the fact that he may potentially have another child, Ms. Minto.
I really don't care if she is my sister. I won't have nothing to do with it. Because I had 19 years and I want to remember my father the way he was, being his only little girl.
Yes.
When I spoke to my father, he told me that it wasn't his.
The tension reaches its peak when the birth certificate is brought into the mix. Mr. McCrory's name is listed as Nevaeh's father, but he stepped up because Mr. Bailey didn't want to take responsibility. Oh, the drama! But wait, Ms. McCrory drops a bombshell. She reveals that Mr. Bailey texted her on the day of Nevaeh's birth, saying, "Congratulations, can I see her?"
That I can guarantee.
Well, you know what?
Joke.
You must not know. Maybe you weren't good enough then.
I was married to the...
Okay, hold on. And let's keep the testimony respect. So you believe that was the time you
Yes.
conceived? And shortly thereafter, that's when you found out you were pregnant and informed?
Yeah, after we kind of like drifted apart because I wasn't gonna be with a male whore. I'm sorry to say it that way, but that's what he was.
And one of his relatives even said growing up they called him male gigolo. And there's even another child saying that...
All right, folks, it's time for the moment of truth. The DNA results are here, and it's time to find out if Mr. Bailey is Nevaeh's biological father. Drum roll, please, and oh my goodness. Drama llamas, the results are in, and it's a bombshell. Mr. McCrory is not the father. The courtroom erupts in gasps and shouts. This case just took a wild turn.
Okay, I think Nevaeh looks like Mr. McCrory.
Ms. McCrory, who's on the birth certificate?
My husband. And I can explain
Okay,
why.
so why?
I know, I can explain why.
Do you have the birth certificate with you? I'd like to
Yes, I
see
do.
that.
Yeah, we do.
Ron, let me see this birth certificate.
I took responsibility because he didn't want to. He said that he was
Because I
about
was his
to
one
get
and
rid
only.
of...
You're not his one and only. He said that.
Keep your seatbelts on, because we're not done yet. Since Mr. Bailey is deceased, they had to perform a sibling test to determine if Nevsay and Sierra are related. The stakes are even higher now, and the tension is through the roof. Will they be revealed as sisters, or is this just another twist in this roller coaster of a case? Get ready for the big reveal.
Mr. McCrory, you are not the father.
Thank you.
Told you.
Are we ready for the next result?
Yes, Your Honor.
That Nevaeh McCrory and Sierra Marie Minto are not related.
Yes.
Told you.
Yes, told you.
Now we're both even.
Now the harassment can stop.
Yeah, well then maybe you better find out who your baby daddy is.
Baby.
We've got Ms. Moody, who is desperate to prove that the defendant, Mr. Brackens, is the father of her adorable 2-year-old daughter, Ray Lynn. But here's the kicker, folks. Mr. Brackens has some serious doubts, and it's tearing their relationship apart.
Ms. Moody, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that the defendant is the father of your 2-year-old daughter, Raylan. You hope these results will save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brackens, you say the plaintiff admitted to sleeping with another man, and your doubt is overwhelming.
Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer intensity of this situation. Can you imagine being torn between two men, not knowing who the father of your child really is? It's like living in a drama movie, folks.
If the DNA results shock you, you'd consider staying together. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so Ms. Moody, why are today's results so important to you?
Because my family is so important to me, and if the results don't turn out to be the way that I need them to be and the way that I have full 100% confidence that they are, my family is on the line. And like I said, my family is everything to me.
So how did this hot mess come to be? Well, Ms. Moody and Mr. Brackens have known each other for ages. They even went to school together, but after graduation, they went their separate ways. Fast forward a few years, and they reconnect through social media. Cue the romantic music, people.
And so tell me about that. How is it affecting your relationship?
I look at this little girl every day, Your Honor, and like, I've been there for her since day one. I was there cutting the umbilical cord and everything, and I broke my back, Your Honor. I built a foundation, and like, this means the world to me. It means everything to me.
But the doubt.
The doubt?
That permeates through the fabric of your family.
Ms. Moody falls head over heels for Mr. Brackens, but here's where things get complicated. While Mr. Brackens was away, she couldn't resist the temptation and ended up sleeping with another man. Oh, the drama. But she claims she chose Mr. Brackens and cut ties with the other guy.
So tell me, how did we get here? How did a beautiful couple, family, get to a position where your family's on the line because of a paternity issue?
Your Honor, I take fault for that. Anthony and I grew up together, went to school together. We've known each other for a very, very long time. After graduating high school, we lost, went our separate ways. He went to school, I went to school.
Turns out, Mr. Brackens had no idea about Ms. Moody's little fling. He thought they were in a committed relationship the entire time. Can you say major trust issues, people? This is a roller coaster ride of emotions.
I can't tell no lies. I can't say I was perfect because I wasn't. I was still doing my own thing. Regardless that I had these strong feelings for him, he wasn't here. And I was lonely. I needed affection, I needed attention. Physical affection and attention, not just a message that I'm receiving from somebody. I looked elsewhere for that.
So, you slept with someone else?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Now, let's fast forward to the bombshell moment. Ms. Moody finds out she's pregnant just a week and a half after breaking things off with the other man. Talk about bad timing, am I right? And this is where the doubts start creeping in for Mr. Brackens. He's left wondering if he's about to become a father or if it's another man's baby.
Caught up in this life that I had been living behind his back while he was gone, that I didn't know how to put it into that. Okay. And so that was very hard for me to figure out, okay, how am I gonna stop this and pick this up and be faithful to him and show him he is what I want in life. He is where I want to be. It was very hard. It was very hard for me to tell the other guy because I can't lie. I had caught feelings there too.
And that's not all, folks. The other man starts claiming that Raylyn looks like his other children, and he even asks for a DNA test. Can you believe the audacity? It's like a soap opera villain trying to steal the leading man's child.
I was happy, but at the same time, it was like, oh my gosh. What do I do? How do I do this? Because I had been in a situation kind of sort of like this before.
Have you ever met this other person?
We grew up together.
This is a man you know?
Yeah, a man that I know, see just about every day.
Oh my goodness. How soon after you broke up with the other man did you find out you were pregnant?
A week and a half.
All right, fam, it's time for the moment of truth. The DNA results are in, and they've been prepared by DNA Diagnostics. You can practically feel the anticipation in the air. Will the results save this family, or will they shatter their hopes and dreams?
Mr. Brackens, you are her father. How does it feel, Mr. Brackens, to look at your beautiful little girl with no doubt in your mind, not another thought?
It's amazing, Your Honor.
And it's because of the way you love Mr. Brackens, it's because of the way you love your family that you were willing to lay it all on the line.
We meet our first contestant, Ms. Thomas, who claims that the defendant, Mr. Hadley, is denying her 7-month-old son, Jeremiah. She's had enough of living a double life and wants the truth to come out.
Towards a relationship when he's staying with me.
Who are you intimate with right now?
Miss Starworth.
When's the last time you were intimate with Mr. Hadley?
A couple weeks ago.
You just go back and forth, Mr. Hadley.
I have.
We're in a love triangle, and this is just going on for way too long.
You understand why Ms. Thomas has reason to believe you potentially could be her child's father, right?
There's no way.
But hold on, folks. There's another woman in the mix. Enter Ms. Stallworth, who is in a gearing towards a relationship with Mr. Hadley. Oh, the plot thickens.
Mr. Hadley, you say your current relationship with Ms. Stallworth is in jeopardy because Ms. Thomas is convinced you are the father of her child.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you say you have hard evidence to prove that you are not the biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Thomas, why is he denying your son?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Ms. Thomas alleges that Mr. Hadley acts like a father to Jeremiah when he's with her, but denies their relationship when he's with Ms. Stallworth. Talk about playing both sides. And here comes the bombshell, folks. Ms. Stallworth believes that Mr. Hadley is not the father because Ms. Thomas was sleeping with someone else around the same time. Drama, drama, drama.
When Ms. Stallworth is not around, he's a good dad to Jeremiah.
Yes.
He's there.
Yes.
He treats him like it's his child.
Yes.
Explain.
Well, when he doesn't watch him, however, if he's crying, he'll go to him, pick him up, make sure he doesn't fall off the bed. He'll give him his bottle. When I make his bottle, he'll give it to him, make sure he's drinking his bottle. He'll make sure he put him to sleep.
Mr. Hadley drops a bomb of his own, claiming that the first guy Ms. Thomas told about the pregnancy wasn't him. Oh, the tangled web we weave. Let's take a moment to appreciate this adorable photo of Mr. Hadley with little Jeremiah. Look at that smile. Could this be a clue to the truth?
That's you, right, Mr.?
Yeah, but I didn't fall asleep like that.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did, Your Honor. He was holding him. He's gonna wake up and not let me take a picture.
So what are you saying? She placed the baby there?
That's a lie.
And took the picture?
No, Your Honor.
First, what I want to know is the relationship. Talk to me about the nature of this relationship.
I was friends with Mrs. Thomas.
Ms. Thomas presents her evidence, a calendar showing the dates she had sex with Mr. Hadley and another guy. She believes that the timing lines up with her doctor's estimation of conception. Could this be the smoking gun?
Out of all of them, twice.
Take me to this pregnancy. You tell Mr. Hadley you're pregnant.
Yes.
When you find out, what do you say?
I told him I was pregnant. I even sent him a picture of the pregnancy test as well. He asked me if I was keeping it, and I said yes. That was the end of it. The next day is when he started doubting it. The same day I told him was the day he told Mrs. Stallworth.
But hold on, folks. Mr. Hadley has his doubts. He claims they did a home DNA test that came back inconclusive. Enter Mrs. Stallworth, who believes Mr. Hadley is not the father because of the inconclusive test and Ms. Thomas's alleged infidelity. This love triangle just keeps getting messier.
You said go ahead and give the child my last name.
No.
Yes, he
So
did.
you didn't consent to Jeremiah having the last name Hadley?
I just didn't disagree due to the fact that her whole family was in the room.
Why are you so convinced he is your child's biological father, Ms. Thomas?
Because around the time where we had sex and the time my doctor told me that I conceived my son.
Do you have any evidence to support that?
Yes, I have my calendar right here.
The tension is palpable as we await the results. Will Mr. Hadley be revealed as the father, or will another man be thrown into the mix? The truth is about to be uncovered. The moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. The results are in, and it's time for the big reveal.
Mr. Hadley, you are not his father.
I feel, now we can move forward now and she can stop letting.
No, you gotta stop.
Yes, he has to stop.
Because you're going back and forth between these two women and they're letting you, that's a whole other conversation.